Alright then. Hey everyone, Zero Fossil Fuel. Received an email today from Sterling Allan. And but it was an interesting discussion about HHOi. And of course, HHOi stands for ionized HHO. And this is a term that's been coined by our friend Fast Freddy. Evidently, there is a byproduct, a gas byproduct of the electrolysis process that is heavier than air. This is according to Sterling. I thought it would be useful if somebody were to demonstrate the properties of this gas. So Sterling asked me if I would volunteer. I offered to do the experiment, and I came up with a methodology of collecting the gas. I asked him, I said, you know, how do you produce this mystical HHOi that everyone's buzzing about? And according to Sterling, this HHOi, or ionized HHO, which is supposedly a hydrogen compound that's heavier than air. I don't see how that's possible, but let's just go with it. All right. It's produced by all electrolysis cells to very varying degrees, and the way you purportedly can collect it is to allow it to pool in a container and vent off the oxygen and hydrogen. Which will of course disperse immediately, and oxygen will be displaced at the top of any container that you collect the Brown's gas in. So what I've done is I've thrown together a stack of tin cans. I'm going to take and put a fitting and a valve at the bottom, and I'm going to put a second fitting at the top. And I'm going to slowly allow the can to fill from the bottom to the top from the electrolyzer and vent off all the oxygen and hydrogen at the top, which should result in a very high concentration of this HHOi gas in the bottom of my collection chamber that I should be able to, quote, pour into another vessel or another container because it's heavier than air, allow it to sit there for several minutes and still ignite it. If that works, that'll be interesting. But again, I doubt it will be a hydrogen compound. And Sterling says that he was contacted by someone from the Utah Department of Energy or the Utah Governor's Office or somebody offering some resources. What I'll do, I'll run the experiment, I'll film it for YouTube, and we'll let the critics say what they may. You should, at the very least, generate a lively discussion. And as I said to Sterling, I said, you know, to find out for sure, we're going to need to take a sample of this gas and send it through a gas chromatograph or and/or a mass spectrometer to properly identify the compounds that are in the gas, or what the gas is comprised of. Personally, I believe it's a heavier than air combustible byproduct of some of the electrolytes that people may be using in their process of electrolysis. Based on chemical analysis that I have seen of potassium hydroxide, which is the scientist's electrolyte of choice for pure hydrogen and oxygen creation. If somebody were to use baking soda, or if somebody were to use sodium hydroxide, the end result may be different. I should also mention here that I received an email from Mr. Finfrock today regarding the SIC, and Tim promises me that he has not, as I earlier reported that I felt he may have, he has not sold any SICs in lieu of sending out a sample unit to be independently reviewed as promised, and says that it is on its way. So, you know, I have to take that on face value. What else can I do? So, just wanted to pass that along. I apologize if I may have misspoken or been accusational in any way. All I can say is that I'm anxious to see a servo-integrated controller, get one in my hands, as are many, many, many other people who inquire with me daily. When are you going to show your results? And of course my answer has to be when I get one. And the response to that, of course, is you must be kidding, or what the hell, or WTF, or any number of colorful responses. So anyway, that's the word that I have today, and I am waiting patiently. I'm just going to put the fittings on my HHOi collection chamber here. I might even make this this stack a little bit taller and make it a nice tall column. It's only secured with electrical tape, the different sections of the can. And one of the other experiments Sterling wanted me to try was to take a container with supposedly this pool of HHOi and inflate a party balloon with just air and float the balloon of air in the pool of HHOi before igniting it. That would be cool. Put some marine goop to seal it up. Oh, and the other thing that I'm going to do, if I can prove the existence of this HHOi gas, I will fill my collection tower here with the gas from the bottom, allowing the oxygen and hydrogen to bleed off the top through this fitting. And once I do that, I will then take the column of HHOi gas and shut the valve off at the bottom, connect the top to the output of my electrolyzer, and push the heavier gas out the bottom of the collection tower into a balloon and fill the balloon with HHOi gas and show how it's heavier than air. Again, all predicated on the assumption that HHOi really even exists. Even if I can prove that we are creating something that's heavier than air that we can't see, still can't prove what it is without a gas chromatograph. So hopefully the university that Sterling is working with will provide the necessary equipment to collect the samples and have it analyzed. So, nothing fancy, just 1/4 NPT nipple fitting at the top to bleed off the lighter than air gases. Like so. A little more Goop Marine adhesive. Goop Marine, the HHO builder's adhesive of choice. So, this little gadget right here is a gasoline petcock that makes a dandy little valve. You pick this up at, I don't know, AutoZone or Auto Palace or Advanced Auto Parts, one of those auto parts stores. Perfect for what we're doing here. There you have it. When I'm ready to fill a balloon, I can just stick the neck of the balloon like so.